I stayed in the parking lot of a Tim Hortons for the night in Fredericton and woke up. It was just an oven inside the camper and outside the camper too on the pavement. It was just unbelievably hot. Last night there was such a thick fog all over that you could barely see the buildings across the parking lot. But when I woke up, the humidity was still there, just the sun baking down through it like a magnifying glass. So just to cool off, the truck doesn't have air conditioning, so I decided to make some miles just to be able to deal with the heat. With the windows down and the breeze coming in through them, it's better than sitting around and baking. Fredericton was real nice to me. It's a shame to have to go so soon. I feel like I could have spent the weekend there, played a few different sidewalk sets, and did alright, but it's just too dang hot. So I set off towards Moncton. I had a choice to make when I set down the road whether I wanted to go to Moncton or down to St. John. But I didn't really feel like going down to St. John. So, back on the Trans-Canada Highway, it's the best way to get around these parts. The back roads are pretty rough. Going down the highway, I see at some of the overpasses where the side roads go under the highway, it's just a rough dirt road, not even gravel. So I'm sticking to the main road. Those side roads really shake the heck out of the truck. Even though on the highway I'm getting passed by people all the time because I can't barely do the speed limit. They've got 110 kilometer speed limits out here. It'd be nice if the 401 would figure that out, even though everybody on the 401 just treats it like it's $1.20 anyways. And there's lots of construction along this route. Seems like the entire stretch from Fredericton to Moncton was either blocked off on one side or the other, or it was a short space in between construction zones. Though not a lot of work happening, just a lot of pylons in the way. So going down the road with the windows wide open, it's pretty nice. The kitty gets pretty comfy behind my seat. I just have to watch. Sometimes she tries to get under the feet still, even though I've done my best to try and teach her not to. Just seems to be comfy down there, I guess. When I woke up, there was water all over the inside of the truck. I don't know, I must have hit the drain plug on my cooler because it was leaking out all over the place. There was a wet spot under the truck when I got out, and I thought, it didn't rain last night. Nowhere else is wet except right under the truck. And sure enough, it was all water leaked out of the cooler from the melting ice. And the carpet and the floor of the truck was all soaked, and because there's a few little holes in the floorboard, it had leaked right through onto the pavement. So before I headed down the road, at least it was hot out, so it dried out quick with all the doors open. I got it as dry as it can be. Hopefully it doesn't rust the floorboards any worse, or I'll have some more drain holes down there. But the part that bugs me the most in this hot weather is the kitty. She looks comfy enough, but she doesn't drink enough water. I put water out every single time we stop the truck for long enough, and hardly ever see her take more than a little sip. She needs to learn what's good for her and drink more water. But in this heat, I don't really know what you can do for a poor little kitty cat, other than find shade and find a breeze. Oh, maybe wipe her down with a wet towel if it gets real bad, because I can deal with the heat. I've spent lots of time out in it and doing hard work out in it too, so I know good and well how to deal with the heat, but I don't think she does. She's new to all this. She's only less than a couple months old. So there's a spot in Moncton that I've heard about, and I started seeing signs for as I was getting closer to town, called the Magnet Hill, or the Magnetic Hill. Not sure which one it's called, but it's strange. Yeah, I got into Moncton and then took a right and then headed out of town right away towards the signs for this magnetic hill. I'm not even sure if I found the exact right road to go down, but there's definitely something strange about that area. There's spots where you can't tell whether you're going uphill or downhill, and it looks like both at the same time in spots. Yeah, the only way I really could tell I was going downhill, even though it felt like I was still going uphill in spots, was the truck didn't need to rev as bad. It's so hilly out east here that having the manual transmission in the truck is pretty nice. When it starts to really struggle going uphill, I can drop a gear or two and just putt along and make it to the top. But this magnetic hill area, something else. Weird little bit of magic in the landscape. It's hard to tell that you're going uphill or downhill until you look around and realize it. But then I headed into downtown Moncton, and the heat was absolutely unbearable. Like, don't know if it's all the pavement everywhere just cooking. So I looked on the map and found a hiking area outside of town, and it's called the Irish Town Nature Park. Big patch of woods surrounding a reservoir. And I figured being around some trees and being away from the pavement is my best bet for keeping cool. So that's where I ended up after the camera died in traffic. I thought I would be okay at the Irish Town Nature Park for the night, but I guess I was wrong. I ended up having some bylaw officers roll up and tell me, like, the park closes at 10, you can't park for the night. So I'm at this little gas station Tim Hortons parking lot for the night. Ain't too bad.